Hello everyone, I'm day weather meteorologist Don Day with your Public Lands Council weekly weather update for this November 26th, 2022. Being brought to you by WSR Insurance Services Incorporated and AgRisk Advisors. Well, as we go into the end of November, looking into December, for the western United States, it looks very wintry. We have a lot of cold coming. Arctic chill is going to return in the coming week. We're going to see an Arctic push early in the week, another push of cold air late in the week that will cover all of the West, from California to Colorado, New Mexico to Montana, from Washington and Oregon into the western high plains of Kansas. It's going to be cold. There's also going to be a good chance for mountain snows to return. In the last week, we really haven't seen much precipitation. That'll change with significant mountain snows helping the snowpack again. And for some areas of the plains, we're going to see snow again as well. I want to get the word out to livestock interests. It's going to be a period of colder, very wintry weather coming as we get into next week. And I think for the beginning of December, for most of the central and western United States, it looks cold. It's going to be a cold start to December for most of the nation. It starts here in the west. And then as we go through next week and into next weekend, the cold will spread to the east. So a much different scenario than we were a year ago. Now, over the last week, you can see in the west, there's been a little bit of snow up in the mountains, a little bit of snow shower activity across the plains, but really, for most of the nation, there's really not a lot of precipitation over the last week. This is what the snowfall looks like for the last couple of weeks. But as we go into this upcoming weekend, a couple of things to point out. We're going to have a storm here in the southern plains, producing snow over New Mexico and West Texas, while rain will be found throughout the east and southeastern areas of the United States, with some snow on the northwest edge as this low goes to the northeast. A little wave will come through the Rockies this weekend, bringing snow to the mountains of the northern and central Rockies and the Pacific Northwest. But see this big area of high pressure building and see how the jet stream is taking a dip? This area of low pressure right here is going to catch onto some very cold air up here and drag it south. So what'll happen is it's like somebody leaving the door open to Canada. And once that door gets open, there's nothing to stop the cold air from coming in. And there it is. This is by Tuesday morning. Very cold air. You can see the big push right there, the jet stream dropping. A big push of cold air comes in. There's going to be a good chance of snow in the Rockies, the northern plains, the Pacific Northwest, into the Great Basin states. Cold air and showers and snow will pour into those areas. And then by next weekend, we may have another push of very cold air come in by late next week and next weekend, bringing more snow chances and more cold to the west. So more often than not, the next 7 to 14 days in the west will be colder than average, with some really cold weather at times and some good chances for snow. Double-edged sword. We need the moisture. It'll be good for the snowpack, but we are going to have to put up with some unseasonably cold early December temperatures, really December temperatures that are going to be more like early January temperatures. So livestock interests, be prepared for that cold. Precipitation, you can see over the next 7 days. You can see how wet it is in the east and southeastern areas of the United States, but notice the uptick in precipitation right here, even getting into the Great Basin. This will be a very snowy pattern for the mountains, but some snow reaching the plains, especially Wyoming, western Nebraska, parts of Colorado, back into the Intermountain West and Montana. And there you can see the forecast over the next 7 days. Pretty impressive. So be ready for winter. If it stays like this for a bit longer, we could have a white Christmas. Our next update will be December 3rd. Have a happy and safe weekend. We'll see you next week.